Alright, boys and girls, welcome back to another Mike Papa Milsurp ammo teardown. We have our calipers, we have our scale, and we have Tortorson Mark II, Tortorson Harder, and a plethora of military surplus ammo to take apart. So, let's see what's on the docket today, shall we? Okay, back for more 7.62x54R. I've got a bunch of this, not really a bunch, whatever's laying here on the table. Whatever this head stamp is, same thing as the other 7.62x54R videos. I have no idea what these are, and we're going to learn together. They all have this head stamp here that shows the arsenal number 31 at the top and the 56 for 1956 at the bottom. Very plain markings on this old ammo, and we're going to figure out what it is right after do some measurements. Of course, we are going to preface this with, most of the times I do these measurements so that folks can make these cartridges off of another, but as you can see peeking out in the upper left hand corner there, we have some factory privy partisans, so it's definitely not hard to find ammo if you want modern stuff. But overall length is 3 inches on the nose, 76.2 millimeters. And we'll go ahead and do some base measurements here. 14.3 or 5.635 inches. And we'll just go down the cartridge, take a couple measurements for you guys who are curious. But yeah, very, very common round, still even to this day, 7.62x54R. It's still used in the Middle East quite frequently. I'm sure the Russians still use it in their squad automatic guns and their light machine guns, and even some of their DMR or even sniper systems. Obviously the steel case stuff is still somewhat easy to find in the States. It's twice as expensive as it was when I started collecting this stuff, but I showed you guys in the last video that we did the Circle 10 clip, but I also have these two stainless steel clips that are marked with a triangle in the middle of a circle, and I have no idea what those are. The Chev's arsenal would be a triangle like so with an arrow pointing up in it, but a circle triangle, I have no idea. So if anyone knows what that is, go ahead and drop in the comment section. So it's kind of a cool find, just digging through my garbage, as it were, trying to clear some of the stuff out and bring you guys some interesting original content. So if you want to support the channel, watch us on library.tv. Streamlabs link is below, as well as our Patreon links. It's got more military surplus shooting footage. Like I said, I'm not going to put any shooting footage on this channel in hopes of getting monetized. I'm really not holding out much hope for that. So let's go into some of the history of this stuff, shall we? Alright, going back to our tried and true website, ye ol 62x54r.net has yet to fail us so far with all this 7.62x54R nonsense that we've jumped headlong into. So like I said at the top, the arsenal number is 31 or 3I, can't really tell. We have a 3B, so none of the Russian head stamps match. We'll go down to not Finland, not Bulgarian, not Chinese, not East German or Albanian. So our tried and true website failed us, so I found yet another tried and true website. This is mosenagant.net, and if you click on China, it comes up with a number of head stamp codes. It has a 31, which matches ours. Ours is a 1956, and they have represented a 57, it looks like. And then it has a 31 reversed, like they forgot which one went on top and which one went on bottom. It's got a head stamp of 55 and 31. So, and it's got a nice comparison to all the different rounds. But the Chinese began 7.62x54R production with a lead core 147 grain copy of the Russian L-style bullet. Later, the bullet design was changed to a steel core copy of the LPS. Gray or silver tip color would appear on most LPS ammunition, but not all. Ours draws a magnet, but I don't know if it's got a steel core or if it has a lead core and just a steel jacket. We'll grind it up and see what is on the inside. In 1967, when all color codes were revised, marking tip color of the ball ammunition was halted. China produced API, 2 different designs, tracer and incendiary tracer ammunition. From the late 1950s on, they followed the Soviet standard of color coding. In 1967, the color coding system was consolidated as the Chinese produced far fewer types of ammunition than the Soviets. Although the deletion of silver tip coating, the API armor-piercing incendiary color code was changed from black over red to simply black. The red-tipped incendiary tracer round was serving a familiar function as the Soviet exploding round. It's constructed quite differently. Its purpose is to produce a trace to the target and bright flash, so aiming adjustments can be made. The bullet contains an incendiary compound instead of high explosives. Very interesting. They also have some 8x57 Mauser head stamps, which is pretty cool, and they've got the way it was wrapped up. I don't have any of the stuff wrapped up. It's just a bunch of loose rounds mixed in with some brass Bulgarian surplus, which we previously broke down on the channel, but this is the only website I could find with any sort of reference, and they even have the tin that these came in referenced on this website. It's a pretty cool website. But I guess we should probably get to the point where we actually do what we came here to do and tear one of these down. So let's grab old Torsion and get to it. And a 1. Oh, well, that's all it took. I was going to go 1-2 Ching Chong Potato, but we did it in 1. Alright, let's see what we got here. Got all the old remnants of the stick powder from the other 7.62s out of the way. Got a couple there in the cap. There's the casing. And we will gently pour this out of here. Just shy of 50 grains, so probably 49.5, 50 grains. Yeah, it's 50 grains. There's still stuff in there. Oh yeah, we're getting there. 50 grains of powder. And much like the Yugo bullet, or the Bulgarian surplus bullet that we pulled, this has a very deep conical base to it. Very, very deep, and of course, very, very magnetic. And see if we can see the Burdam primer. There it is, 2 little flash holes there. It almost looks like it's got a center flash hole. So that in fact is the stamping for the anvil down yonder. And we'll take a look at the extruded stick powder. Pretty similar to all the other Soviet era stick powders. Always wanted to try this. Nothing really sticks to it. We have 1 or 2 that little extrusion decided to stick to it. So that was probably rubbed up against the base of the bullet because, you know, nitrocellulose is not ferrous. But there is the nitrocellulose stick powder in all of its wonderful glory. All 50 grains of it. We'll go ahead and fill this back up in the case and weigh the projectile. Just like so. Ta-da. And see how much this projectile weighs. Probably 147 grains like all the other ones. Oh, look at that. 148. Pretty cool. Go ahead and do the thing that I always forget to do and go ahead and measure the case. 53.85. So almost 54. That's the closest thing to 54 we've gotten so far. Oh, no, it's 53.5, just like the other ones. Interesting. So there you have it. There's some Chinese surplus 7.62 of 54. Get that back in there, just like it's brand new. It's got a little bit of room to play around in there with the powder, but one of these days we'll get this stuff through a Nagant rifle for you guys on the Mike Papakilo YouTube channel. So stay tuned there. Of course, check us out on library.tv, support us on Patreon and the Streamlabs link. And yeah, pretty cool little Chinese 7.62 action. Once again, thanks for watching, and as always, Bulgarian surplus isn't always steel. So imagine all these communist countries just didn't have enough lead or copper or both, and either made a bimetal jacket with ferrous metals or the core with ferrous metals or both, because there doesn't seem to be any steel core in most of this ammo that we've been cutting up for 7.62 by 54R, but it does definitely draw a magnet, so there is that. Very interesting stuff.